header here for USF 2000. Double header for Pro. Field is set. Weldon on the inside, Martella on the outside. Race director asked for a quicker start, and he's got it. We are green, green, green. Racing down into turn number 1.
Martella trying to squeeze in behind Weldon, now pulls back up alongside. How about 4 wide to the braking zone?
Deep, deep, deep for Martella. I think he's going to take it. Comes across the bow. Martella, does he get around the other side of the corner? One driver dropped the wheel a bit further back. You can see that driver, full left side tires in the grass. More drivers coming through turn number 3 as they're pushing hard, but it's Martella who I believe has gone to the lead. That might be Evan Cooley up into second.
Yeah.
I think Cooley got to second, Alan.
Looks like Weldon has dropped back to P3, maybe P4 in that opening squeeze, but everybody through the corner with all the wings and tires intact.
It's such a long run from the yard of bricks down to turn number 1. The draft comes into play even at the start. The idea was to stretch the start out a little bit quicker than normal so we could have a gap coming down in. Joel Miller, our race director, great call on that. A lot of room for all the drivers coming through. One has gone around. What's one of the VRD cars is around, coming over to turn number 8. Try to pick up a number on that car. Is that the number 3, I believe? Indeed,
yes.
Yeah, that's the number 3 that has gone around there. Joao Vergara spinning around, coming out of turn number 8. Otherwise, clean and green coming through to turn number 12.
Got an issue in turn 7. And everybody's continued. So we stay under green as we come around to complete lap 1 of our 40-minute timed race.
We'll give you a look at the top 10 as they work their way back around here. And again, getting things dialed in for the first run here. 3 races for USF 2000. Again, as they come across the line, we are underway. Great lead there. Oh, big
lockup.
Left front brake lockup. That's not something you want to do, Alan. You don't need to do that when you're the leader, but you know how hard these drivers are pressing right now.
And move through turn 1, Sebastian Garzone moves and picks up a spot. He'll lead this second grouping, if you will, as they work their way around. That's from 3rd place on back.
Listen, this is one of those racetracks. If you can get out to the lead early and start putting those lap times down, you can stretch away, and it's looking great right now as exclusive Autosport drivers currently run 1-2 here, out to a strong lead. There you can see the gap, 1st, 2nd, then the 3rd, 4th, 5th battle. That's Garzone. Sebastian Garzone has not surprisingly gone up into the 2nd position, 3rd position rather.
Yep, P3.
Looking at live timing right now, if you're trying to follow along at home, I don't think live timing is updated at this point here, so ideally we'll see that come pretty soon. We'll do this all visually for you. I use this ticker on the top of the screen. But good start for Martella, getting nicely out of the gate to get himself down and into turn number 1, get around the bow. Big run from the outside of turn, really say middle of the corner, really, to be able to pinch down. There's contact, car 2, couple drivers together, Alan, coming out of turn number 13.
And that's going to be trouble. Everybody's avoiding so far, but 2 cars, 1 has not moved, and the other's got some suspension damage and is going to head for pit lane.
Yeah, that was just a couple of drivers, Alan. Oh, that's Weldon.
Yep.
That is Oliver Weldon, who started on the pole position, right rear damage rather on the race car. That's going to be it for Weldon. We're going to see a full course yellow in this massive lead for Martella, and Cooley is going to go away quickly, as I believe that car could be stricken for Weldon. So contact between he and I believe one of the Pabst cars. There it is. Yeah, indeed, yeah. Brad Majman. So there you go. There's that classic left front to right rear contact down. I think they were trying to pinch each other coming out of turn 13 to 14. Majman looking up the inside. Weldon didn't want to give it up, and indeed we do have a full course yellow.
Yeah, there are your double yellow flags for the car sitting stricken to the inside of turn number 14, as Oliver Weldon's car will sit there and be unable to continue with that suspension damage. So full course yellow for the first time in the race. While the lead has been kind of spread and settled, wow, frantic from 3rd on back, right from turn 1.
It seemed like, obviously, with a bit of the issue with the exclusive cars getting out there, all of a sudden they got super aggressive for 3rd, 4th, 5th on back. You had mentioned the fact that Weldon kind of fell back early. He was down to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get that pass done to turn 1. Lost that, had to check up. Everybody kind of swarmed on top of him a little bit, and he was tumbling down the order, as Alan had mentioned.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we saw Garzone able to get by into 3rd. You saw Brad Majman getting aggressive there. You can see the suspension damage in the left front for Brad Majman. Yeah, but Brad Majman was pushing hard, and I think, Alan, Weldon said, listen, I got to plug the dam here somewhere. It's I'm going backwards, and I got to stop that action.
These are the guys that started first and third who wound up in that incident, and they're both going to be out of the race with not very many laps under their belt. There you see that right rear corner of the Weldon car just collapsed down on the track, and the signal from the AMR safety team that
this will need a hook.
That it's not good. And you see Weldon climbing from the car there now.
It's not going to roll. So here's your top 10 right now. Anthony Martella, Evan Cooley, those two drivers were able to get out early. Sebastian Garzone able to get by that group to third. Eddie Beswick up into fourth. Liam Loiacono, who started back in 11th. He is +6 up into the 5th spot. Ayrton Kahn in 6th. Ryan Janetta 7th. Thomas Nordquist started in 13th. He is up 5 to 8th. Lucas Nanji in 9th, and Eric Holm, who started in 14th, he's up 4, getting himself into the top 10. So some chaos early, Alan. The front two drivers able to stretch out, but we saw the elbows up early for P3.
And so for Anthony Martella and Evan Cooley, who had separated themselves from the rest of the pack, now the pack comes back to them for the restart when they're able to get the Weldon car removed. And the clock ticking on a timed race. Now, plenty of time. We've barely gotten going and don't anticipate this being a long full course yellow. But with weather a question and the pace car in front of the field, it just kind of adds another layer to the onion of drama surrounding how this might all unfold a half an hour or so from now.
And we know how good the AMR IndyCar safety team is. They'll have the car of Weldon up on the hook here momentarily, and they're very close to pit lane, so it's not going to take long for them to get back around. So I would expect that there's a good possibility we could go green this next time by. The drivers are coming through. Turns number 12 and 13 and 14 now past the incident scene. But you're right. This place is very tricky for the starts. The pole sitter obviously didn't come out on the right end of it at the start. It may be even worse, Alan, for the restarts because it's such a long run coming down the straightaway. Even with us allowing the pole sitter or the leader to essentially punch off on the restart anywhere between 13 and 14, the run is so far down to turn number 1 that oftentimes you'll see maybe a pass and even a repass. You can tuck back in behind the guy if he's drafting by and dive back down into turn number 1. So at the very least, it's exclusive Autosport 1-2, but I'll tell you, there's nobody's ever going to have to hold back, rather push forward Sebastian Garzone. Because if there's an opportunity for Garzone to take this lead, he's going to go for it, I guarantee you.
So talk about a top three who've had opposite ends of the spectrum starts to the season, right? You've got Garzone, who at St. Petersburg won both ends of the doubleheader, but the two guys ahead of him on the track now, Martella and Cooley, both were at the bottom end of the standings in the season opening rounds. Yeah,
let's press the replay button on that. So the very first race at St. Petersburg, Garzone starts on pole, Martella on the outside. Garzone in the wrong gear at the start, not able to get off a big launch. Better run for Martella. He goes to cross the bow to go into turn number 1. And through the inside is Eddie Beswick coming in. He makes contact with the right rear. Around goes Martella on the opening corner of the season. And who hits him and drives over top of him? His teammate, Evan Cooley. Severe damage to that race car. So both those drivers with DNFs. They come back the next day after IndyCar. This time a driver from the back overcooks into the corner, climbs one other of the exclusive cars, hammers into Cooley. He's out for both races. And literally just 4 corners later, Anthony Martella with a mechanical DNF off on the runoff. So these are two drivers who I would have said in all my predictions in the preview podcast I did to start the season, 2 championship contenders. They leave with 2 points. And their other contender, Garzone, winning both races, as you said.
So a lot of want to in those first 2 red cars on the field as we get ready for the restart here. Pace car will be turning to pit lane here, and we'll get the green flag when the cars come to the restart zone. So up front, Anthony Martella, Evan Cooley, his teammate, second, but then that championship leader, Sebastian Garzone, in third as we get ready for a restart.
If you saw that there, Lucas Nanji's lost his front wing. An accordion effect coming into turn number 12. A couple of drivers kind of check things up there. They're going to throw a yellow flag again here as debris on the racetrack. Everybody kind of getting on the throttle, but there it is there, the 24 Nanji. Everybody checked up coming into the corner. The top 7 or 8 drivers were fine. As the guys a little bit further back that got checked up, and Nanji's following down the other. I think Nanji was running in 7th, so everybody checked up, Alan, lost that front wing, and of course, no green.
Man, anxious to go racing, and not. So yellow flag again as the AMR safety team is out to not only retrieve that broken wing piece that was laying in the racing line, but to see if Lucas Nanji needs an assistance to get that Pabst racing machine clear of the race course where it sits now. Over there in the final corner.
And listen, that's on the drivers further back. The bottom, unless somebody checked up coming through, the bottom line is you got to give yourself enough room coming through turn number 12. The leader's not going to punch off till after 13. So the last thing you want to do, knowing you're going to get a good draft down the straightaway, is be right up on top of the rear attenuator of the driver in front of you. There's no sense in you putting yourself in that kind of position where you could potentially lose a wing like that. That's obviously damage for Nanji. He's all the way down to 17th. We'll likely be able to come in and get that wing put back on so we can get more track time here, but the bottom line is a potential top 10. For the driver who actually rolled in here 5th place in points, Alan, he's going to find himself with a finish at least a lap back.
And Ryan Gianetta just came down the pit lane as well, the 16-year-old rather, from Redondo Beach, California, who was 6th in points coming in. He just rolled down the pit lane as well, so attention to that car necessitated here in the opening laps of our triple header.
Yeah, you wonder if he was part of that chain reaction as well, and maybe had some damage to the wing too. So a couple of drivers here on the restart having issues, and it looks like there's more damage than just the front wing for Nanji, because they're going to put this thing on the hook again. So I thought we were going to go green flag with a 3rd down. That would have been 5 laps down when we went back to green. It's going to be at least 6, maybe 7 now as they come back around. Wing is off. So Nanji's got some damage. So that is 2 of the Pabst cars with damage. In fact, they have 3 cars. So Eddie Beswick's still out there, and he is in 4th. So one of the 3 Pabst cars still remain. But the other 2 drivers, Brad Mashman and Lucas Nanji, will find themselves at least a lap back. And for Nanji, he'll be heading back to the paddock. Lots of time to fix any cars. Yeah. We're not back on track for first thing tomorrow morning. But the last thing you wanted to do was have a late night at the racetrack, knowing that I want to say we get rolling at about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So
yeah, actually scheduled for tomorrow. The first green flag is at 8 a.m. with race 2 for USF2000. So yeah, going to be an early start to the day tomorrow to get in, get prepped, get ready to go, and get ready for a green flag at 8 a.m.
I expect we'll go green this next time by as the drivers come through the chicane onto Holman Boulevard. It'll be 7 laps in, so we'll be almost to the halfway point when we go back to green flag. Martello leads, Cooley 2nd, Garzone 3rd, Beswick 4th, Loiacono up to 5th, Ayrton Kahn 6th. Then you have the remaining drivers who have jumped up into the top 10 as 2 drivers out, both Ryan Gianetta and Lucas Nanji for that incident. That brings Thomas Nordquist up into 7th, Eric Holm to 8th, Kaylee Countryman to 9th, and Gabriel Kahn to round out the top 10.
Race control says lights out on the pace car. We're going racing this time by, so we'll see if the 3rd time is the charm to get this thing up to full speed. Got a couple of laps early under the green flag, but then the incident over in the final corner that took Oliver Weldon out of the race, and they did a nice job getting the 22 of Brad Mashman repaired and back out on the race course.
Indeed, yeah, I saw the Pabst crew going to work on that left front. Here's where Martello will check it down a little bit now. Wants to let that Honda Civic Type R pace car bolt away a little bit. Get him back onto the pit lane so that Martello can punch off somewhere between 13 and 14 right here. He could go essentially right now if he wants, as long as you're getting through cleanly. Good start. Right side's onto the rumbles there. Big run onto the front straightaway. What green flag flying back at start finish? What kind of a launch and gap does he have? Looks like 3 or 4 car lengths on his teammate Evan Cooley. Watch as they come down the straightaway here now. I'm sure he'll be a little bit down to the bottom of the racetrack. Drivers are allowed to move. You can't move to block in defense, but you're able to move if the other driver does not. Big move there. He'll hold on to the spot. The 92 of Martella still there. Cooley runs 2nd. Garzone in 3rd. 4th is Beswick. Back to green flag racing. And
so that blue and white number 12 machine 3rd in line of Garzone is the one to keep an eye on here. He'll be the one anxious to get to the front. Championship leader, the 16-year-old out of Columbia, looking to see if he can make some hay as one car goes straight off in turn number 5.
Alan, that's one of the D-Force cars. I think it might be Thomas Nordquist, I believe. So it was running in the 7th position. Hate it for Thomas. But yeah, slowing coming out of turn number 4.
And so now the leaders work their way through turn 7. And now the twisty parts of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Grand Prix course. No change in that top 3.
Martello looking good now. The battle, I think, better further back for 4th, 5th, and 6th. That is Beswick, Loiacono, and Ayrton Kahn. Look at Loiacono all over Beswick now, who covers to the bottom of the racetrack coming out of turn number 11. Kept it down low. Beswick hugging the inside of the corner. Loiacono let it drift up a little bit. Watch for a move here for Loiacono. Look as well, who's right there. Ayrton Kahn in the 94, looking for his best result of the year. Kahn was 13th and 10th. Okay, what kind of a run do we have now? Let's see. Big run here for Loiacono. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes Beswick. There's the draft. He's going to pop out, going to keep him pinched down. Look at Loiacono trying to hold Beswick down. Over-under coming from Kahn? Not quite.
Wow.
Textbook Indianapolis, though, the run there, the big draft usually comes later down, just before you get to that braking zone. But you got to make sure you transit. Oh, a deep move to the bottom of the racetrack through turn number 5. They're going to go side by side coming out. Oh, Loiacono tried the inside, but not quite enough. I'll tell you who's going to get a good run because of that. Here comes Ayrton Kahn. Can he pass both these drivers over to turn number 7?
Beswick takes the defensive line. Drivers left as they come to the hard braking turn number 7. They're 3 wide into the corner, and it's going to be Loiacono who finds his way through. But is he clear yet?
I think he's got it. I think Kahn just checked up a little bit as a scrum further back as well. More of the Jay Howard cars. You got Vergara, Peter Callahan, Callahan Peter, Vian Bossoff in there as well. So a scrap further back, but Loiacono, Alan, that was a well set up pass. Remember, tried it pretty much over in turn 4. Didn't happen until the entry of turn number 8.
So now you see the gap from the top 3 back to 4th place, Liam Loiacono. And get a time difference on that as they come to the yard of bricks here and see what it is and keep an eye on that gap. But the leader still, the 92 of Anthony Martella from Canada. Exclusive Autosport leads the field down to turn 1.
I'll tell you, we got to give a shout out to here midway through the race. That's Cal Peter. He started 20th. Dead last, and he has got himself up into 9th right now, able to get away from some of the chaos, but he's right in the middle of a fight right now with his elbows up, battling inside the top 10. So awesome drive thus far for Cal Peter. Sometimes you get in that battle, Alan, where you're kind of with everybody, and if they're going that fast, I'm going that fast. If they're going that deep, I'm going that deep, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of being lifted to another level. I like to see that.
Got 3 groups of 3 have separated themselves at the front of the field in the top 9 spots, and the side-by-side is going to be back at the end of that, although Garzone looking in turn number 7 under braking to see if he can pick up the number 2 spot.
This is absolutely music to the ears of Anthony Martella. He loves having them battle further back, so that he's potentially going to be able to pull away here right now. Martella out of Woodbridge, Ontario, Canada, excited for the Markham race right in his backyard, but would love to get that first victory here. And I always say this, Alan, that once these young drivers get that first victory, the floodgates often open. Martella struggled hard on the road course. He hasn't done it. Won the Freedom 75 at the Oval last year, but he wants that road course win, right? Especially here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Very quick in testing and practice yesterday and leading the way right now. I guarantee the family's watching back home, and they are seeing him pull away right now. Cooley still holding the advantage over Garzone. Loiacono's cleared. The 94 of Kahn was able to get by Beswick, but lost that spot again. Beswick back to 5th, Kahn 6th. His brother Gabriel up into 7th spot. He started 15th, +8 for Gabriel Kahns as the 2 New Mexico drivers run 6th and 7th.
Joao Vergara runs now in 8th position. Kaylee Countryman is 9th. And 10th is, who's that? That's Vian Boschoff, who runs in the number 10 position now, as we're with 10 laps of our 15 complete, and the leaders all separated by a couple of car lengths each. 5
laps to go, and a big one for Boschoff as well, as Alan had said, struggled a bit yesterday finding pace. They were able to get a couple tenths of a second in the official practice session, but remember, he started back as well on 17th, so +7 for Vian Boschoff. Remember, he comes into the weekend sitting 8th in points, 6th in the opening round, 14th in race number 2, so a top 10 here would keep a string rolling of some success there for Boschoff. There he is right there, that number 67 machine, the, again, newly renamed PFH Racing Program. That's Sarah Fisher Hartman's program with Andy O'Gara. And excited to have the Peterman family on board with them. They launched that earlier this week, so Vian trying to take that car into a top 10 finish. Right now in his 2nd season in USF2000, and again running in the number 10 position. So leaders across the yard of bricks. Now 11 of the 15 laps are completed, and Sebastian Garzone has found his way up to the number 2 position. Found his way around Evan Cooley to grab the number 2 spot. So now Garzone, championship leader, with a little bit of ground to make up on Anthony Martella, but he can see the race lead. I think for a guy like Cooley, and especially with Martella out front, knowing what happened to them, the amount of points they were not able to collect at St. Petersburg, Cooley wants a race win here for sure, but there's 2 more opportunities to do it tomorrow. Hold on to your spot, bank the points you want there, because you got to take your points when you can. Martello's trying to do the same thing, because remember, it's already a pretty good lead for Garzone, because he's second in points to Leonardo Scorpioni, who has moved up to USF Pro 2000. So Vergara is de facto the second driver in the points, 23 markers back. So Garzone looking to stretch the lead here at Indianapolis with a potential second place finish. But again, we'll keep an eye on the lap times now. 4 laps still to go. 1.8 seconds was the gap last time by between Martella and Garzone. Martella looking, though, for his second race win in USF 2000 to pair with the Freedom 75 win at IRP last year.
So here they come now around the final couple of corners of our Indianapolis Motor Speedway Grand Prix course and up to the yard of bricks to complete lap 12 of the 15-lap scheduled distance. There's the race for second and third. While out in front, Anthony Martella has established a gap of 1.58 seconds over Sebastian Garzone as they head for turn 1.
And the last time by, it was about 0.2 of a second difference between Martella and Garzone. Sebastian a little bit quicker than Anthony, but the gap is there. And when you're leading like this, you can kind of settle yourself into a groove. You may have a little bit more of the tank if you need it, but Martella, as I said, he's just been absolutely great the last 2 days, Alan. He was either P1 or P2 in all 3 of the sessions yesterday. Now finds himself up front here after starting, qualifying second. Everything's going in the right direction for him. A fantastic start to get around Weldon. And now he's just got 3 laps to go to cap things off and grab a win to start off the weekend.
Looks like the closest race for position on the track at the moment is for 6th and 7th between a couple of brothers racing there for that spot.
And there they are there. Or is that one? I think that's one of the VRD cars. No, that's the number 3 there in the middle of that battle. That's Joao Vergara, and he is fighting it out right now with the 93 of Gabe Kahn. So that's a fight actually for 7th. So yeah, a little bit of 1.6 seconds between the 2 Kahn brothers. But you're right, Alan, Vergara able to get Kahn there. So move Vergara up into 7th.
And split the 2 siblings, and moving a little further forward for Vergara, the 18-year-old originally from Sao Paulo, now from Miami, Florida, and for VRD Racing.
He's got a pretty good coach in his uncle, too, Oz Negri.
Yeah.
So Oswaldo Negri knows his way around the racetrack and has been a big part of the career for young Joao Vergara. It's been fun watching him come through USF Juniors. He was a top driver last year with race wins, now moving his way up here into USF 2000. Very talented young man running for VRD Racing. Gap now 1.4 seconds. Again, Garzone about 1/10 quicker than Martella, but he is managing that gap nicely. 2 laps to go here. Again, lots of time still on the clock, but 2 to go for Anthony Martella. Exclusive Autosport looking to grab another win. They won the first round last year as well. We mentioned it in qualifying. Alan, you brought it up. Jack Jeffers scoring a win for Exclusive Autosport in race number 1 of last year's doubleheader here at Indianapolis. So we'll see if Martella can do it again.
All right, coming to the white flag this time is the word from race control. You'll see some waving debris flags in the final couple of corners. There's a piece they're identifying as a shock cover has come off one of the cars and is up in that section of the racetrack, but we stay under the green flag except in that section of the course.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, there it is.
You can see them swerving a little bit to get around that. They have that debris flag. It's right there. It's right on the other side of the debris flag. The drivers can all see it now, so something has popped off. A shock covers, we're being told. Everyone able to avoid that thus far. Hopefully the radio coming in on that. But the white flag flying for Martella. Big gap right now. Fast lap of the race right now, guys, belongs to Brad Majman. That's a point, a bonus point as well. 125.337. He did a 125.356, so that's probably going to be better than his second fastest lap. That may help Majman when we look at the way the things line up for the grid for race number 2.
And of course that comes after the repairs were made, after he and Oliver Weldon collided and knocked the left front suspension off that car, and quick work by his team down in the pit lane for Pabst Racing to get that car repaired and going. But the leaders now work their way to the final couple of quarters of the first of 3 this weekend for USF 2000.
Yeah, we'll go back-to-back twice tomorrow with both USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. But I'll tell you, for a driver who rolled into St. Petersburg looking for race wins to start off the season, made a sweeping move for the lead in the opening corner, only to get looped around and hammered by his teammate, and then have a DNF in race number 2. This is going to be extra sweet for the young Canadian as he'll work his way through turn number 11 and over to turn number 12. Anthony Martella for Woodbridge, Ontario, Canada, for Exclusive Autosport leads him coming out of turn number 11 through 13. He's led from the get-go here. He's a winner at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, and he's going to be able to call himself a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The opening race for USF 2000 here at IMS goes to Anthony Martella as he wins the Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Race 1 for USF 2000. Martella, your winner. Garzone second. Cooley third to put 2 exclusive Autosport cars on the podium. Liam Loiacono from 11th to 4th. What a drive for the young Aussie. Eddie Beswick makes it an Australian 4-5. Ayrton Kahn, his best career finish to 6th. Bagara 7th. Gabe Kahn in 8th. Kaylee Countryman, great run for her as well. Split the difference, started 16th, finished 9th. And Vian Bossoff for his newly renamed team ends up wrapping up the top 10.
So a little thumbs up from Sebastian Garzone as he pulled up alongside the Anthony Martella machine on the cool-down lap. But Martella, 17 years old, from Woodbridge, Ontario, Canada, picks up the victory after getting a win at the Oval. You mentioned last summer, old crosstown here is going to get, he's going to get to be known as Mr. Indy.
Exactly right. Month of May has got to be his favorite now.
Yeah,
he's had a couple good ones for sure. But this is big for a driver again, guys. 2 DNFs at the opening round at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Was absolutely gutted in the paddock. Both he and Cooley, of course, just so frustrated with the inability to be able to capitalize on what was great pace throughout the entire practice and qualifying component of that weekend. But then to come here knowing that this is what you needed to do. You needed to bounce back. You needed to come right back to that victory. And it's a big one for Canadian racing as well. It's been a while since we've seen a Canadian win here in USF 2000, and it's good stuff for, again, Anthony Martella. I'm sure the family's back home rooting and hollering for this one as he'll bring that car down here. And again, listen, that's all part of it, Alan. You know that it's just the mental side of the game for these young drivers and their teens coming in here, the pressure on them to win.
Yeah.
You know, they're in front of the IndyCar team owners. They want to look so good. And there are your results right there. Anthony Martella, P1, Sebastian Garzone in 2nd, Evan Cooley 3rd, Liam Loiacono 4th, Eddie Beswick 5th, and Ayrton Kahn rounding out the top 6 as Martella will bring the car down to his exclusive Autosport crew. Father Tony rolling down here as well. Gotta love the emotion of these young drivers as he'll be climbing out of the car here momentarily. I think we had DJ Clark down there waiting for an interview with our Victor. I'll talk to the top 3 as well when we get to the podium here. But huge for him. Fantastic run for Garzone as well. He didn't need to win that one, Alan. 2 wins in the first race, second here.
But still,
come on, stacking the points up.
When you're trying to establish a lead in a championship and you've gotten 2 wins and a second out of your first 3 rounds of the season, you've done well.
Stacking up the points to start the year for the young Colombian, Sebastian Garzone. And a great run for Evan Cooley as well. But it's the man of the hour right here, Anthony Martella. Core Pay sponsorship, Young Drivers of Canada on the car. Big one for him to get that momentum here in the month of May. Great young man, good focus. And again, to come back after the issues of St. Petersburg, how sweet must this be to get the victory after a couple of DNFs.
I love the deep breath there too.
Right.
Here he is.
There you have it, folks. Anthony Martella out of the car as a race winner here in USF 2000 for 2026, and he'll stand by with DJ Clark.
Martella over here getting big hugs from the family. Anthony, you've won at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. How much sweeter is it to win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
I mean, it's awesome, man. You know, coming here last year, we didn't have the result that we wanted, and, you know, I want to thank the team. They did an amazing job. They put a lot of belief in me. We've done a lot of hard work throughout the offseason, and unfortunately, St. Pete didn't work out for us. You know, so that's sports sometimes. And luck was on our side today, and we're able to bring home a win. Super happy. A lot of hard work has gone into this, so I'm really, really proud of the team. I'm proud of myself, my family, and looking to get on that podium.
Let's talk a little bit about the race. Some scary moments early on. You had to do a lot of defending, but then able to build that gap. When did you know this might start to break your way?
I mean, I knew we had the pace from moment we rocked up. You know, we've had a strong off-season testing. Every time we've come here, we've been quick. So I knew I wanted to take the lead into turn 1, which I did, and after that it was focus forward and try to come home with the win, which we did.
You certainly did. Go enjoy that podium. It's a good one. Anthony Martella, everybody.
Matt Clark, his fellow Canadian there, teammate at Exclusive Autosport. Here comes Evan Cooley as well. Yeah, it's going to be a happy day. There's Michael Duncalf, the owner, Tony Martella, engineer Lou D'Agostino. As we all know, folks, that every one of the teams up and down the paddock, I don't care if it's USF Pro, if it's Indy Next, if it's IndyCar, it's a family behind the scenes, all the people that are involved in these programs. I also love looking at the fact that we have such parity in the teams we have in our program. We had 4 different teams inside the top 5. Exclusive Autosport, D-Force Racing, Jay Howard, and Pabst Racing, all in the top 5. It doesn't matter what team you go with. If you have the talent, you're going to be winning races.
And the people on those teams have been working hard. Even though they haven't had a race event since the streets of St. Petersburg in early March, there have been a number of official test sessions, and they've been running up and down preparing these cars to get these young drivers the experience they need to come here and compete to win.
And not only that, a lot of these crew members, they don't just work on the USF2000 cars, they may work on the USF Juniors cars. We were at Carolina Motorsports Park just a couple of weeks ago. 2-day test at Mid-Ohio, 2-day test here. Rebuilding race cars for the month of May. Yeah. A lot of work gets done to make it all happen here. And you can see the celebrations will continue here throughout the evening, no doubt about that, but there's still work to be done. This is only Friday. We got 2 more races for these USF2000 drivers, but there are some with momentum. And not only those, Alan, who finished up front, but there are some really great stories of drivers who came from deeper in the pack to be able to come up into the top 10. That's a win as well.
So again, these drivers and teams beyond the Speedway, again, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock to start our Super Saturday off, and then their third race will happen at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. So a busy Saturday for drivers of the USF 2000 series. And we're not done with Friday yet, because we've got a podium celebration still to come.
No doubt about that. And remember, too, that the races are pretty close together tomorrow, so you don't want to make a mistake at race 2 and not get the car repaired for race number 3. Very tough for sure. Alan, I'm going to head to victory lane. I see that the drivers finally working their way up from the yard of bricks up top to the podium. We'll have a chance to chat with them. I'll talk to all 3 in just a couple of minutes. Alan, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Yeah, fantastic way to kick things off for the USF Pro Championships here in our Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. 3 very talented drivers getting the job done here today. Let's bring them out and have a chance for a quick chat. Folks, a round of applause. 3rd place today for Exclusive Autosport, Evan Cooley. Let's get that trophy out here as well for Evan. Scott Jared's going to help me out here with that. Thank you, Scott. Come on, get a shot there with the, then I'll get Evan to pop down and have a quick chat with me here. Solid start to the run there. Evan, grab your trophy and come down here, chat with me real quick so I'm up there with you. Hey, anytime you're on the podium to start a weekend here, there's 3 races. Just give me your thoughts on finishing 3rd here today.
Yeah, great recovery after starting 7th. Had a great start. Got past a lot of cars in a second. Fell back a bit after the restart, but good to bring it home in 3rd.
Can you make that car a little bit better?
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we'll be starting up a little higher tomorrow and get on the top step.
Well done. Hop up on top there. 2nd place driver waiting in the wing, folks. Let us get him out here. He's your point leader, either 1st or 2nd this year so far. Sebastian Garzon from D-Force Racing. Joe Bucci will bring out that trophy for me here. Great to have our guests of Anderson Promotions with us here this weekend. Sebastian, hop down here with me real quick. You're off to a great start, bud. You got a couple of wins at St. Petersburg, P2 here today. I know you always like to win, but it seemed like the car was really good going to 2nd. Are you pleased with P2?
Well, like to be in P2, like I need to get work. Like my start was so-so. I need to work on that. But thanks, I finished P2. Thanks to God, my team D4s, they beat Simon, Ernesto, the whole crew, and see what we need to work for tomorrow and get the wins.
Hop back up on top here. One more driver to bring out. Put your hands together. The winner today for Exclusive Autosport. What a fantastic run for Anthony Martella. Anthony, stay down here with me real quick first. I'm going to get one chance to chat. I know you talked to DJ, Indianapolis. How big is it to get the first win of the season after St. Pete?
I mean, it feels awesome, man. I mean, I won the Oval last year, and to win the road course, awesome. It just feels awesome.
People screaming and yelling for you down here. What do you think?
I mean, it's awesome, man. I mean, you know, a lot of hard work goes into this. Me and my family have not had the best couple of months. Obviously, my grandfather was in the hospital. So I want to dedicate this win to him, and without getting emotional, I love my family, I love my team. They did an awesome job this weekend, and ready to push for more in race 2 and 3.
Get up here. We got some collectibles for you. Let's bring that first place trophy out here as well. Dipin Mehta going to help us out here. Thank you so much. You hop right up there with him. Let's get a shot. Get a photo. Great job there. Again, we talk about the international flavor of this series as well. Canada, Colombia, and the United States represented on the podium here for USF2000. What a fantastic job for all these drivers to kick things off. What a start it was for Martella coming around the bow to get the lead. Cooley came with him as well, but the man who had to go on the attack to get himself up to second was Sebastian Garzone. Remember, folks, these drivers just a couple steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series. This was Kyle Kirkwood. This was Rinus VK. This was Christian Rasmussen just a couple of years ago. Fantastic job for Anthony Martella to put himself on the top of the box at the start of a triple header here this weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So a couple of hats for these drivers here so we can get the shots we need. Some beautiful trophies there with the brick represented on the front as well. Again, 2 more races for these drivers as they'll go back-to-back with USF Pro 2000 tomorrow, as we have, again, race 2 and 3 for USF 2000, 1 and 2 for Pro 2000 as well. Rolling the hats, we got the champagne waiting in the wings as well. We've got a little photo to go. Yeah, I shouldn't say champagne. Age-appropriate sparkling beverage. That's what we'll call it. Again, awesome to have some of our friends from Anderson Promotions here with us this weekend to enjoy the excitement of Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the Indy Next car is rolling out. Exciting to see what we see the drivers that are doing so well. The winners all in USF graduates this year so far. Nikita Johnson, Max Taylor, and Alessandro D'Attulio, all former USF Juniors race winners, started their program in USF Juniors. Again, the bubbly will come in next as we'll cap things off here for the first of 5 races on the weekend for the Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Remember, they've got to wear these suits again tomorrow as well. Get the bubbly. Sue, you get out of the side. Guys, do me a favor. Grip it and rip it. Let's celebrate. Well done for the drivers here today, and they are going after them. Champagne flying here to cap things off for the opening round of USF 2000. Those of you who joined us down here in Victory Lane, love having you with us here. A huge victory for Exclusive Autosport as well. They put 2 drivers on the podium. D4 still leads the points with Sebastian Garzone. What a fantastic way to kick off the weekend here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 4 races to go tomorrow, 2 for USF 2000, 2 for Pro 2000. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. We do appreciate it. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now. Back to victory lane.